Hey. Well, today is very busy. And so is tomorrow. And one of the things I have to do today is get the vegetables ready to cook tomorrow. But I also wanted to do another video. So, some days you just have to multitask. So I thought I would do some talking while I cut some vegetables. That's all. Get two things done at once. Maybe there's a lesson in this. Doing things today to make tomorrow feel easier, maybe more fun, maybe to make tomorrow feel like a reward. And you want to know what? I think that's a good way to think about time. Doing things today to make tomorrow a reward. You know, when you get to be my age and you get to think about many of the chores and responsibilities and the tasks that you have to do, well, number one, it makes those chores seem like they have a purpose, even if the purpose is just to cut vegetables for cooking. Now, about the idea of doing something today and then getting a reward later. That is a very important way of life, because many things in life are about working now, or taking care of responsibility now, because now is the time for that responsibility. Not later. Now. Like when squirrels collect and save food for the winter. They store it because they need to have something to eat when it's cold. Animals in the forest, outdoors, in the wild, they have to eat a lot and get themselves ready for hibernation in the winter, because they take a very, very long sleep. So, hey, if squirrels can do it, you can do it. And that's not even the best part. When you do something today to make tomorrow a reward, it does feel good. Maybe it's planning or organizing a party for someone, like a birthday party. That's one of the best feelings. And then the next day, or maybe later that day, when the person gets to celebrate everything that you've planned and set up. And you can see how happy they are. It is one of the best feelings. You know what that reminds me of? Yesterday I talked a little bit about love and how everyone gets to decide what love is and what it means. Well, I can add that to my list. Planning and throwing a party for somebody else, to me, is another, well, it's another way to show love. I think it's because it takes a lot of thought and thinking. And then the person who is doing all of that thinking and planning, they have to actually go out and do it. Or, get help. And get everything set up. And that takes a lot of work. And they may never be thanked for it, maybe, but they still do it. Because it's not about the person that it's not about the person that plans and does it. It is all about the person who gets to celebrate. They get to celebrate. Yeah. You want to know something else about love? Even though it is one of the most important feelings for each person to give and receive, there isn't enough there aren't enough comfortable ways for people to really talk about it. And that includes me. Like just now. I used to think that when you're old and you become a grown-up, you can talk about anything. That's because when you are young, in school, doing your lessons, going to class, doing presentations and research papers, and going up in front of others to present your work. And when we're little kids, that can be very scary, and it can make you nervous because you are used to sitting at the desk and learning, but when it's your turn to stand up in front of the class and talk, that can be scary. Yeah. You know, when I was little, they used to say, that is the most scariest thing that people are afraid of. It's public speaking. And now look at people. Anytime they want to publicly speak, they just take out their phone and start talking. That doesn't mean what they say is, something that you have to agree with. The important part about that are the 3 words. They get to. Just like you. Yeah. Almost done with the peppers, because I've got some other things here too. What do I got? Some cherry tomato, some mushrooms. I don't know if I have to cut these though. I have an onion and some asparagus. Want to know something that I think is both important, but also a little silly. Back when I talked about the old homework that I had done way long ago, I had so many things to say about very irrelevant things that don't matter, things that I thought mattered, but well, in the long term they don't. But the things that do matter, the important ones, things that mattered way back on that day when I was writing the homework, and right now, this second, while I cut these vegetables. I had almost nothing to say about those things. Things like what I want to do, where I want to live, whether or not I might be married or be a dad. I think that's very normal, and it speaks to how questions like that, they take a lot of time, and that's okay. You don't have to feel pressured into answering them. Unless you want to. But that's up to you. You know, I don't know if I really need to cut the mushrooms because I bought these and they were pre-cut. So maybe I will skip that. Want to know something funny that I always thought about mushrooms? Look. Do you see the sloth? I always thought mushrooms looked like a sloth. Yeah. Here you go. See, here's a little one. Well, this one's kind of more like a skull, but you know. Any more sloths? Well, here you go. Hey, buddy. Any more? Any more rare pulls? Sloth? Sloth buddy? Maybe not. No. And maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you're the rare pull. There you go. Alright. What's next? Asparagus. I don't think I cut asparagus the best way, but I mean, when I throw it in the pot and cook, to me it all tastes great. So I mean, as long as it gets cut without, hurting myself. Oh dear. I'm going to use the mushroom bowl for the asparagus. Okay, maybe this is enough talking, because this talking while I cut the vegetables is making this chore take longer than it normally does. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I think I'll say maybe one more thing about doing things today for tomorrow, because there is something else about tomorrow, and that is when you know that you will have days ahead of you that will stink. And they will not be fun. But you will have to go through them and live through them. Some people will want to hide or avoid or pretend those days don't happen. And they can do that. But for you, I'll share these words with you to maybe help you when you have those days coming up. And that is when you look ahead to a rough day that you know you're going to have. Maybe you've done a research paper and you have to present it to the class and you're nervous. Remember this. That part of your day is only a short part. It's only going to last minutes. And then it'll be over. And then you will move on with the rest of your day. That day will still end in a sunset, and then at night, and then you go to bed, and then you wake up. Let a rough day pass through you. Because that time will happen. Whether it impacts you or not, that time will move forward. So, it moves through all of us. So, let a rough day pass through you. There are more ahead. And that's not something to be afraid of. It's just a part of life. They come. And they also go. So let them pass.